We do not live in this country. We have to travel home. So hopefully we don't do much more of this. Because
no, we're not going to.
Hello, lovely people. This is Michaela, and I have a lovely guest today with me, my sister Arielle, or as she's known on YouTube,
Empress Lazuli. Hi, everyone.
Don't worry, she'll have her links down in the description box so that you can go to her channel once we finish with the video. She does a lot of astrology videos, so if you're interested in that sort of thing, then definitely check out her forecasts and other types of videos. So we're doing a book haul video just to show you what we bought and to tell you a bit about why we bought them. Some of these are from a trip that we did a couple of weeks ago, and some of them are for today.
Yes.
So I'm going to start with this book right here called Spiritual Places. It's by Sarah Baxter. Arielle also got this book because it looks amazing.
Yeah.
They call it an inspired traveler's guide. And it's by, like I said, Sarah Baxter, and it's illustrated by Harry and Zana Goldhawk. The cover there, as you can see, is Australia, I believe. And it's really cool because inside you'll have like a place with the illustration and a whole description about the spiritual place and why it's a place of interest. So this one here is in northern Spain. It's called Camino de Santiago, and it's a medieval Christian pilgrimage to the tomb of St. James the Apostle. So it just has different locations. Germany. What's this one? The Wittenberg Castle Church.
I opened Mount Olympus.
Mount Olympus, yeah. So that's going to be in Macedonia, Greece. But look at these illustrations. Show them that one. So yeah, we're really, really excited about this one because they've got all kinds of very interesting locations. We both love to travel.
Yes.
So that's going to be...
This one.
Oh, wow.
And because they're real places, you know, we could definitely visit them together, or just, you know, if you're not sure where you want to travel for, you know, a trip that you want to take to go on vacation or to just realign yourself energetically, we can take a, you know, swing through this book, spin through, and then just pick a destination. Yeah.
I want to show one more because this one's really cool. The Teotihuacan in the Valley of Mexico. In Mexico, it's a mysterious ancient city believed to be the origin of Mesoamerican civilization. And so you've got this one, which is kind of like a map of the area. But then look at this.
Wow, beautiful.
And then you've got one more, I think. Yeah.
What? That's cute. Oh, that's so nice.
I'll put that
like
on
the
wall.
details in it, but then, you know, it's also very,
I
don't know,
it's great.
It has that like fake worn look, you know, like it's very
like
historically rich.
Distressed kind of background.
Distressed.
Yeah. So we really liked the look of it, and we're excited to kind of go through that. And along these same lines, I got another one by Sarah Baxter as well, which is Mystical Places, which is relatively the same concept as Spiritual Places. I'm gonna have to read through and see what the major differences are, to be honest. But they've got places like this one in Cornwall, England. That's the Tintagel, and let's see.
I think the main difference would be like, you know, stories that people would consider fairy tales or folklore. This would probably have real locations, you know, that are assimilated to those fairy tale stories or folklore. I think that might be a difference. Maybe
you're right, because they had one in here that I saw as well. It was like the Senegambian Stonehenge, so it has like all these rock stone formations. And then I saw one as well that was like one of the entrances to the underworld near the River Styx in somewhere in Greece.
Yeah, so like Greek mythology.
Yeah, so it was speaking about like, oh, there it is, the Senegal and Gambia ancient and abundant monuments strewn across the West African wilds, the stone circles of Senegambia. And again, illustrations are just amazing. So really looking forward to diving into these two, getting some ideas of places to go and things to see that would be of great interest. Plus, with the write-ups that accompany each entry, you'll have a bit of history and context as well. So really excited about that one. The next one I'll talk about is The 7 Healing Chakras, Unlocking Your Body's Energy Centers by Brenda Davies, MD. This is an anniversary edition. And just to let you know, these ones that I'm talking about now, I got from 5 and Below, which is a chain here in America. I don't know how far and wide they go, but this is my first time going to one here in Florida. And it was amazing because all these books were $5 and below.
Yeah.
So this one I think retails at $16.95. I hope I'm not getting anyone into trouble. But we got this for like £5. So I have books like this as already about the chakras. I'm gonna cheat and go forward and show you
this one,
another one that I got from Books A Million in Brandon, Florida. And this is the Key to the Chakras book and bracelet set, which was really cool. So it had like a bracelet and stuff in the window here, and then the book is here on the inside. You might be asking, why did you need 2 books about the chakras? Well, this one is written by a yoga practitioner, and it's kind of her experiences and insights of the chakras. I was really interested in this one because it's written by a doctor, an MD. So I felt like this one would go into details that the more spiritual perspective wouldn't necessarily go into.
Yeah.
And it breaks it up into self-discovery, the basics of spirituality, and then it goes into the different aspects of each chakra.
Oh, wow.
And then it has an endocrinological and neurological connection section as well. So it's like, I think it's delving more into the science of the chakras. And so I'm interested to kind of...
But also providing the healings. I don't know about the other book as well, but this one has, for every chakra, when you see the table of contents, it's like broken up into sections where every section or every chakra chapter ends in like meditation. So I think this one is really a lot heavier on, like you said, the healing, endocrinology, like what you can actually do and what you can take action to do for each chakra and for all of them together to help really bring healing to the endocrinological and neurological pathways and connections.
Exactly. So I'm excited about getting through this one, not getting through it, but getting to explore it and comparing it also to this other one, because the way the Keys to the Chakras by Vicky Howie is laid out, it's kind of like the first chapter is the keys to understanding the chakras, so you kind of get that basic knowledge. But then you get an assessment stage in chapter 2 where it's like understanding what the balancing of the chakras mean. And why am I saying chakras? Chakras. let's say chakras, because that's what they are really called. And then they have different tests in here as well. And then there's an interesting thing about using a pendulum to test the chakras, which I don't think this one would go into from a more medical perspective. So you're getting both, and I think it's really interesting to see how they're written about differently. So I can find the common thread that runs between the two of them, and also because a lot of the people I speak to about this topic, maybe you're not as spiritually aware of, or maybe that's not their baseline. It's interesting to be able to speak to people on a more medical or scientific side of things when it comes to the chakras, because then they may accept it in a different way or receive it a little bit more easily than if you were doing the woo-woo language, as some would call it. So adding
a lot more occult spiritual terminology to your explanations.
Exactly. So I'm excited to have these two. Back to the ones we got from 5 Below. She's giving me the side eye because we both picked up this book and somehow mine is the only one who ended up at home. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. It's called The Power of Numbers, and it's a numerology book. I do have a couple of numerology books as well, but this one was really cool because it's so simplified.
Yes.
Like it goes through how you calculate all of your numbers, what the basic kind of 1 to 9 mean, broken down even to, I think you saw even essential oils and
there were even essential oils and plants,
gems and minerals, animals and insects associated with each number as well. The day of the week, the most compatible with other numbers, the strengths, the weaknesses, and then after that it goes into the what's it called, master numbers. So your 11, 22, 33, but then it also does 44, 55, 66. It goes all the way up. And then if that wasn't enough, it goes into the angel numbers as well. So it goes to the 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, etc. And it doesn't finish at 999. It goes into angel number 1001, 1212. So it really goes and delves deeply into all these different numbers, and it even goes into your personal year as well. And it's just laid out in a very simple, easy to understand, easy to read way. I am a bit of a desktop publishing what is it called? Critic. Because sometimes if a book is not laid out nicely, it turns me off.
Yeah. And one thing I really like about this book as well is that they provide examples. So when they're showing you like how to break down your numbers for things, or like to come to numbers for calculations for like your personal numbers, it gives you a chart with examples of like what it would look like and how to, you know, add the numbers up to, you know, and things like that, which is really cool. And again, like Michaela said, it just makes it a bit more user friendly. And I think that it kind of widens the spectrum of who can utilize the book. It's not just for someone that is a advanced, you know, legendary person in terms of their experience with numerology. A beginner can pick this book up and you can utilize the examples and follow along just as easily. So definitely. Really great book.
And you know why this book is so, look, my birthday is April 22nd, 4/22. So I think it was meant to be. Jessica Allen, this is the author of the book, and again the title is The Power of Numbers: How to Manifest Your True Purpose and Find Meaning in Your Life. Yep, and we've got 2 9s on the front as well.
And they're literally across from each other. Like if you draw a line, they're like right across from each other.
And here. So we've got the 2 9s, we've got the 4/22. Nice. So yeah, we are very happy with this purchase.
We are. Yes, we are.
And then finally, to wrap up my book haul, these are 2 other books along with that other chakra book that I got from Books A Million. And they are both by V.C. Andrews. If you are unfamiliar with V.C. Andrews, this is the author who wrote Flowers in the Attic series and many other series. She actually, I Googled or Wikipedia'd her just to say, I mean, she's still writing books. If you look closely, there's a little R register sign there. She actually died in 1984, but someone, her family, her estate, hired a ghostwriter. So he is continuing to write books under the V.C. Andrews name, based on, I think some of them, I don't know if all of them are, but some of them are based on manuscripts or ideas that she had, but that she had never written the full books to. So this one is called Whispering Hearts, and it just sounded interesting. It was about a girl from England who moves to New York City, and she gets approached by a couple who cannot bear children of her own, and they agree to pay her to solve that problem. But as in all V.C. Andrews books, there's always some kind of psychological twist of some crazy stuff that happens. So that is Whispering Hearts, and I'm looking forward to reading that one. This one is equally kind of creepy. It's called The Umbrella Lady, and And with this one, it's about a young girl who's 8 years old called Saffron, and her father leaves her like at a train station or something, and she gets picked up by this umbrella lady. But then somehow she gets letters from her father, so maybe he left her there on purpose. I don't know. I'm not sure what it's about, but it seems like being in the care of this umbrella lady, no visitors are allowed. All the clothes in her suitcase are destroyed. So there's obviously something sinister happening in this book as well. So yeah, we'll see. I don't read like horror thrillers and this kind of things, but psychological sort of stories.
Thrillers. Or like psychological suspense.
You're like, what are these people
hanging there
doing?
like, what's gonna happen
what
next?
Are these people doing? Like, just kind of the inner workings of people who are like using these power dynamics to take advantage of those who are less fortunate or vulnerable. And
wait, are Flowers in the Attic the one with those girls?
It's the one with the 4 children.
I'm mixing up with those 4 girls, but it's fine, yeah.
So Flowers in the Attic is about these 4 children, 2 older kids, and then there's these set of twins, boy and girl. And their mom keeps them locked in an attic and alongside her the grandmother, because in order to secure her inheritance, she can't have had children with the guy who her dad forbade her to have children with. So instead of getting taken out of the will, she pretends like she has no children, and she comes back and like is waiting for him to die and keeps the children locked up. The problem is, it takes years and years and years, so they're locked up in this attic, having to like basically just live up there and go through puberty and all of these like big life things, locked up in a room with your 3 siblings.
Oh my goodness.
So it is crazy. The grandmother is power dynamics. Again, it's so interesting to me to kind of explore the inner world of those who are just
being put through
controlling.
the ringer. Right.
Yeah, and just to see how the characters that are kind of the underdogs or the victims, how they like get out of these situations.
Or how they cope mentally throughout.
Exactly.
Psychological, like you said, psychological suspense. Like,
exactly.
You would never expect your own mother to put you up in an attic for years on end and have to go through puberty up there with your siblings or your grandmother. So that's check out Flowers in the Attic. Shout out to
and it's a movie.
Andrews.
It's a movie too, and that's one of the most famous books written by B.C. Andrews, and apparently she wrote it in like quick time. She wrote it in like a day or two, and then when she was given revisions, she like turned those over really quick too. So this is a book that I think was truly like channeled from somewhere.
Wow.
Maybe it like really happened somewhere out
Wow,
there. So who knows? So yeah, those are my books from my book haul. And Arielle now is going to talk about a few of hers.
My turn. Okay, so Spiritual Places, we've been through this book. Really amazing illustrations, as you could see. So that is one of the ones I'm excited to go through. And when I'm traveling, I'll definitely use that as a traveler's guide. Another one I'm really excited to read is by Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of The 4 Agreements. He had this book and Michaela saw it, and then I was like, actually, let me go through and see what book she was saying she doesn't have of his collection. And it's called The Circle of Fire. And it has the same kind of illustration on the front cover that he's, typically known for with his other books with Janet Mills. And it says inspiration and guided meditations for living in love and happiness. So the format of this book is really just like different guided meditations or things that you can say for truth, forgiveness, love, gratitude. So for example, they'll have like here a prayer for truth. So there's prayers that you can literally read for all of those different principles, all those different things in this book. And I just found that so amazing because, sometimes when you're like, man, I want to pray for gratitude, there's a prayer that you can literally turn to in this book. and read it out, and it covers all the bases in terms of a prayer you would want to make about gratitude. And as you know, we love Don Miguel Ruiz for the Four Agreements, so I thought this was so fitting, and that all of the prayers and information in this book I really resonate with, so had to pick this up. And again, this one was at five below. The next couple of books that we got from Books A Million when we went to our first bookstore when we came over. This one is called Will You Give Me a Reading? And this was a really interesting find. This is by Jenna Matlin, and she is actually a clairvoyant medium who's been reading tarot since the 1990s, and she's a full-time psychic reader and was named the best spiritual guru by Philadelphia Magazine in 2019. So she's done readings for thousands of people. And in this book, Will You Give Me a Reading? She literally goes through all the type of information you might think about when giving a reading to someone else, in addition to information you might want to know in terms of debunking or certain rumors or speculation that you may have heard about readings, to kind of help you to feel more relaxed and have the energy that is needed to go and give the best reading that you could possibly give. So in all of the chapters, it starts out with a quick start guide, but then it literally goes through all different aspects of reading. From chapter 3, Yes, You're Psychic, to chapter 4, Tarot 101 for Red Bulls, to chapter 7, layering tarot techniques. So she goes into a lot of really great information. I've started reading this already, really great read. And then she also, at the end of every chapter, gives you activities to do with tarot cards so that you can get to practicing straight away. It's not just read this whole book through and then start practicing. After every chapter, there are different things, that she gives you to do, so that you can walk alongside with her in every chapter as you're reading along. So really love this book so far. I think I'm only on about chapter 4, but I'm really excited to get through the rest of this book. And it has helped me with my perspective on giving readings. Even though I would say I'm pretty experienced and I really enjoy it, it has helped to kind of revise and get her point of view, especially since she's done thousands of readings and she's a psychic medium and she's been doing them since the 1990s, before I was born. So really great author and book. The next one that I picked up at Books A Million is called Goddess Magic, a handbook of spells, charms, and ritual divine in origin. And this is a really beautiful book of all different types of goddesses. So for me, one of the cultures that really spoke to me in terms of goddesses was the Egyptian culture. Ancient Egypt. So Isis, I've been working closely with, along with some others, and like Sekhmet. And I really wanted to know about goddesses that are known in other cultures, like in Greek culture, in mythology, and ancient Sumeria, and Phoenician, and the one from like Norse, like Nordic. So they have really great goddesses that have been known throughout all of those different cultures, and it helps you to walk with them. It tells you about the different, so like for this chapter, it says goddesses of love and beauty. So it goes through different goddesses that are in all different types of cultures, and then on each page it tells you about their powers, it tells you about offerings that you can give to them, and then it just goes through the next chapter, which would be goddesses of marriage. So like if you want to work with a goddess for a specific reason, or you have a specific intention, it's really wonderful to go through this book to one, educate yourself about different goddesses in general. But if you have a specific intention that you want to set, or you want to sit and meditate with a goddess to help you or assist you with something specific in your life, you can work with a specific goddess and see which one resonates with you, which I thought was really beautiful. I also really love educating women about just their divine feminine power, divine feminine and masculine. So I thought I wanted to definitely brush up and get more educated about different goddesses so that I can teach more in that subject. The next book that I got is kind of taking a detour in terms of subject, but with my son, I really want to read books that will help to just inform me and get me a bit more educated about parenting in general, get the perspective of experts or people that have had experience through their own children. So this book is called Hunt, Gather, Parent, and it's by Michaela Duclef, and they have a PhD. So this book I thought would be really great to read. It says the oldest cultures in the world have mastered the art of raising happy, well-adjusted children. And from flipping through this book that I got from Five Below, they go through different types of cultures and how they parent their children. So examples from African villages and tribes and how they parent their children and so forth, so on. So I thought it would be really interesting to go through. It says on the front cover, what ancient cultures can teach us about the lost art of raising happy, helpful little humans. So I'm really excited to read this book. Yeah, and it's also a New York Times bestseller, so I think that would help as well. Again, got this for Five and Below, but it says $18.99. So again, somebody's in trouble. Somebody is in trouble. The next book I got is also dedicated to just like parenthood, and this is called Social Skills for Kids. I thought this was a really cool find. It says from making friends and problem solving to self-control and communication. So this book is full of 150 plus activities to help your child to develop essential social skills. And so as my son is growing up from all different ages, so for example, they have an activity here on this one page, and then it will say like what age group it's for, so age range, the skills that it teaches him or her, the materials that you would need if any, the number of participants needed for the activity, and where to actually play this activity. Sometimes you might want to be outside with your children, inside, in the kitchen, you know, in the bedroom, depending on what activity it is. So I thought this would be really cool to flip through. Like I said, over 150 activities that will help to just build and develop social skills. Yeah. Social skills really help with just children being able to interact with their age mates, and it can also help really determine their success in life overall, because as you know, we're not alone in this world. We have to interact with others. So really helps with kids getting those very integral skills. The next book, going back to astrology, the next book I got from Five Below is called What's Your Sign? And it's a guide to astrology for the cosmically curious. And it's from the experts behind the popular astrology app Sanctuary. So this is a really cool book that goes beyond the basics of astrology to unlock the secrets of your birth chart. And I really love the layout of this book. I love how it kind of takes you into beginner steps and like showing you your birth chart, showing you how the birth chart actually develops and the signs. It kind of just builds everything up with you and takes you through the different chapters, the different signs, the energies associated with each sign, whether it's cardinal in terms of the modality, fixed, mutable. It also goes through polarity. It also goes through the elements, so like fire, earth, water, and fire, water, earth, air. And it also goes through your sun placement, your big three, so your sun, moon, and rising. It has like a one-page describer for each zodiac sign for you, whether you have your sun, moon, or rising in that placement as well as the dates. And there's like cool games and stuff in there as well. So I thought that was a really cool book to get. I have so many astrology books, but when you love a subject, you can never have enough books on it, right? Like Michaela and her chakra books. It's like the different perspectives that you're allowed to get that just helps you to continue your knowledge. It's invaluable. So they have career, they have tidbits on career based on your signs. So really cool book. Thought I would pick that up and add that to my collection. The next book is actually not a book, it's a journal that I got from Five Below. And this is to help find your way to well-being every single day. I'm actually one of those people that bought the 5-minute journal when it first came out.
Oh, I don't have that one.
And I loved it. The concept of just literally spending 5 minutes to talk about what you're expecting out of your day, literally claiming how you want your day to go and manifesting that because you've set that intention so early. And then now that you're going about your day, you're thinking about those things that you intentionally wrote down in the beginning and start of your day. And then again at the end of your day. I love that concept. So when I saw this wellness journal and the way that it's laid out, which this side is for the mornings, this side is for the evening. And for the morning, you put the date and it asks your personal goals for the day, the daily gratitude, so what you feel thankful for, taking 20 minutes to do a self-care practice for the day, and then a healthy ritual that you want to do for the day. And then for the evening, global consciousness. So I helped to save the planet by picking up rubbish off the sidewalk. I close my eyes for a few minutes to focus on my breath in and out. So it helps you to practice mindfulness and just remind you of those things that you might know you need to do already. My random act of kindness was the evening meditations, how you felt afterwards and why. And your sleep ritual for tonight is Michaela is huge on dreams. She's really great at journaling her dreams. And I really need to work on that. So I feel like me having a sleep ritual for the night and setting an intention to say, this is what I'm wanting to get out of my rest state when I'm recharging for the next day would help me to remember my dreams and maybe even document them when I rise up and use that in the way that I structure my day to manifest. So really wanted to pick this journal up. Thought it would be a great way to hold me accountable and kind of a quick way to document things because I have my son so that it's not taking up too much of my time. Last two books. The second to last one is Family Therapy, the Essential Family Therapy Workbook. And it says exercises to improve communication, resolve conflict, and build connection. And therapy is one of those kind of like, what's the word I want to attach to this?
Taboo?
Yeah, it's more or less a taboo word, thank you, when it comes to especially minority families at times. One, because of the cost effectiveness, but sometimes as well because essentially in all types of families, there tends to be secrecy around what I want to talk about in terms of my emotions. And so, especially like I said, now that I have a little family of my own that's starting, and also within, our nuclear family already, exercising, improving communication with each other, resolving conflict and building connection really sounded like a great book to pick up and just, learn about any information that, we can take away from this in terms of mindfulness, living together. There's even little tests in here as well. So I'm really into psychology. I'm a sociology major. So I really enjoy those type of psychological aspects of life and implementing them. So thought this would be a really great book to read through. This is by Emily Simonian. She's an MA in LMFT. So again, very qualified to write this book.
And can I just say as well, like the books that we got from Five Below, mostly all of them were written by very credible sources.
Yes.
So that is, not only credible but very talented in regards to the travel books that were that were illustrated, like very, very high quality books for not much money.
Exactly. Exactly. They did a really, whoever is their the buyer for their books, whoever is the merchandiser that specializes in buying the books and picking them, they did a really wonderful job because the quality is amazing, but like you said, very credible authors that provide you with quality information for you to learn and build your life on. So the last book I have is the Book of Mythical Beasts and Magical Creatures. And this is by Stefan Krensky. And it's illustrated by Pham Quang Phuc. Ooh. And so they did a wonderful job working together on this book. And they have all types of mythical creatures in here, along with explanations, you guys. It's not just a picture book. These pictures go along with stories and the supposed, what is it called? The what people would say about these mythical creatures, the stories that they're included in. So I thought this would be a really lovely book to get to flip through for myself cheekily, but also for my son to just read some of these stories to him. Kids love nice pictures and illustrations, and the illustrator did a wonderful job at all of these illustrations. So I really think that we will both have flipping through and reading and learning about the mythical creatures
Medusa was like a really
oh
good
yeah,
one.
which one? I can't see.
Yeah. Keep going one more thing.
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah, so like, but then I also learned the other day that Medusa is based off of a black, with locks. She had locks. And so they basically made her, look like she had, snakes and stuff. But she actually was a deity that had locks. And she was dark, and they were, out of fear for her, they made her this more scary, creature in Greek mythology. And made her hair snakes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's just what I heard anyway, something I heard the other day, which I thought was interesting.
I've heard a lot of contrary things to the original Medusa story that we've heard about. It's not really fair that she got. Oh yeah.
And then in the book, what I'm pointing to at the bottom of the explanation for Medusa, it says, see also Hydra. And then it tells you the page number, and Phoenix, and it tells you the page number. So it's a really great book in terms of it giving you the connections that can be made between different mythological creatures and beasts that are associated with the same or similar stories, or even the same type of mythology as well, which I think is really cool.
Because there's Norse, there's Hindu, Greek, because that's Medusa is Greek.
I think Chinese as well with the dragons and stuff.
The unicorn in here too. Chinese dragons, and you've got witches. I'm trying to find one from America. Yeah, so El Chupacabra was first spotted on the Caribbean island of Puerto Rico.
That was in one of the in a Netflix show. If you know the Netflix show, comment below. But that was Chupacabra. He turned into one in the Netflix show. He turned into the Chupacabra. Yeah.
So as you can tell, we love seeing...
was that Anansi? African,
Anansi, So we love seeing books about different countries, different places, different continents, different traditions. And I think that that's a testament to our upbringing and also what we have carried through in our lives with traveling and just being very bookish, as you can tell. So
exactly,
that is our book haul. Yes, those were our book hauls from Books A Million and from Five Below. We do not live in this country. We have to travel home, so hopefully we don't do much more of this. Because
no, we're not gonna. We can't. We have no more room on our suitcase.
Listen, they were already trying to charge me money.
I know.
On my way over because I was
such
overweight.
Sticklers now. So, like even 2 pounds, they're like $100 and something.
Well, it was like $14 or 14 pounds, UK pounds, per pound over. So, or was it per pound?
Probably.
How do they measure in pounds or ounces? Or no, kilograms.
Kilogram, yeah.
So for every kilogram over, it was 14 pounds. So yeah, we have, needless to say, we need to be careful with this habit that we've got. But it was a pleasure. It's been a pleasure speaking to you today about these books. Look out, like I said, for the links to Arielle's channel in the description if you're interested in astrology, and mostly astrology. Yeah, in astrology.
Yep, astrology, self-care, tarot.
Exactly. And keep abreast of this account as well, Hello Michaela, because maybe we'll collaborate on a movie review or two, some reactions.
Let's do it.
So yeah, we'll see how we get on with recording schedule, because we've got, like we said, Arielle's baby boy. We've had a lull right now, very nice lull where we've been able to record a video, but of course it will be much longer if we're doing like a movie or something.
Right.
So yeah, thanks for joining us today, guys, and we will catch you on the next one.
Bye.